Hey, what's up, friend? This is episode 102 of the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran. My co-host is Anthony. He's the jock. I'm the nerd. Welcome to a very special Free Comic Book Day edition of the Jock and Nerd podcast. What is Free Comic Book Day? Well, aside from being my favorite day of the year, it's a yearly celebration when participating comic book specialty shops across North America and the world give away comic books absolutely free to anyone who comes into their stores. This has been going on for 15 years. It's usually held on the first Saturday in May. Stores have events and signings and appearances. Lots of fun. This year it was Saturday, May 7th, 2016. And our buddy Eric Garneau, who works at the comic book store Anthony and myself regularly visit Pastimes Comics in Niles, Illinois, invited us to be featured guests as part of their Free Comic Book Day celebration.
Wowie zowie!
I gotta thank Eric for thinking of us and inviting us. It was a blast. Listener, check out freecomicbookday.com for all the details about this awesome day and where you can find it near you. Now, in part one of this very special edition, it's two parts because I recorded way too much audio and there's great conversation. So I'm going to spread it out. We're going to get two awesome shows. Part one, we meet comic book creator Joe Parrish. We talk to stencil artist Kevin McPartlin, also known as Mr. Antihero, and making another appearance on the show, Mark Allen Fishman, Matt Wright from Unshaven Comics. You're going to want to check out the show notes for this episode at jockandnerd.com/102 because you want to check out all these people's works. They're very talented. Check out the art, check out the books, support the independent creator, and enjoy this part one of Free Comic Book Day, Jock and Nerd Podcast. It's the Jock and Nerd Podcast with your hosts, Anthony and Imran. Jock and Nerd! All right, listener, we are recording live on the floor at Pastimes Comics in Niles. It's Free Comic Book Day.
Holy crap.
Aren't you excited, Anthony? Saturday, May 7th.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to swear as much because I see a lot of kids around.
There are a lot of kids here. And unlike the last time we set up like a year ago, it was June.
Yeah, there's way more people.
There's already, it's 10:30 in the morning. And as you can hear, listener, there's a lot of activity. We got guys set up selling artwork. We got comic book writers, independent guys.
Mark Allen Fishman's here.
Mark Allen Fishman's here. We got this dude Kevin, Mr. Antihero stencil artist.
Yeah,
I definitely want to talk to him.
This guy's Tin Man. He does his own podcast.
He has a podcast, and you bought some art for him.
I bought some art from him maybe 5 or 6 years ago that I didn't know was this guy.
Wow!
Until he brought that same piece, and I was like, oh crap! I'm gonna censor myself.
Listener, there's children around.
Yeah, so
it is Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, and I saw that piece of art. I was like, oh, that's a bigger piece than what I have right now.
What a small world! So you get to actually meet the artist who made that unknowingly years later.
You know what else is going to be tricky is this is Saturday, May 7th.
Yes.
And like half the people in here that I've talked to haven't seen Civil War.
There's murmurings of Civil War all over the room.
So I don't know how they're going to get through the day because they're all like, well, I don't want to be spoiled. And people are going to be talking about this movie.
And that's a movie you got to watch right away because it will get spoiled. And I might spoil it for you, listener.
He might. Imran, so I pointed out to Imran, and if you heard the last, Jock and Nerd 99, you'll know that I pointed out to Imran, he spoiled 2 key moments in the movie.
Actually, you never said it during the show. So we can go over that now.
Okay,
we forgot to do it.
Okay, well then.
Look, we can't swear, but we can always do this. Oh, shit. Yeah. So, and they won't hear that. So that's our secret. Secret swearing.
So Imran has spoiled 2 key moments. He might have edited one of them out, but he's spoiled 2 key moments on the podcast because he thinks everyone is just the biggest nerd ever, and it's common knowledge.
You can't even talk about it because you don't want to spoil it right now.
Right.
But
this is because this is going to come out after we do our review show.
Yeah.
So this is going to be it's like a time warp where you're listening
back in time.
It's very time shifted.
Yeah, this isn't going to come out for like a week and a half. But, dude, I'm excited to meet a bunch of people, make new friends, turn new people onto the podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll have some of these guys when it's not so busy. We'll have some of these guys around us that are creators and artists jump on and give a little spiel.
There's already a lot of buzz around here. I want to talk to Eric And Dwight also.
Yeah, we got to talk to everybody.
We got to talk to everybody. But, yeah, we're going to
Do you have a mouth? Sit down. Start talking.
You got ears and a mouth? You can form sentences? No? That's fine. Just mumble some words.
We'll fill in the blanks.
Just grunt stuff. It'll be on-the-spot Mad Libs. Fill in with adjectives.
You know, I didn't realize that Free Comic Book Day was all day. I mean, I guess that's just my bad.
It's called Free Comic Book Day, Anthony, not Free Comic Book Hour.
10 to 6, so this will be an 8-hour show. No.
We're going to have every single second will be recorded.
Is this like those 24-hour marathons where, like, you call in, like, Bob,
a little bit.
You're trying to raise money for, like, some sort of campaign or some sort of fund or charity?
This is our PBS marathon.
That's what I'm referring to. And they have, like, celebrities picking up the phone, like, oh, hey, what would you like to donate today?
If you love programming like this, please pick up your phone and visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
There you go.
To support public podcasts moving forward. Look, NPR has all these podcasts and they're so polished. They have so much money, listener. I suggest we stop donating money to PBS. You start donating money to the real independent creators, which is us and other little podcasts.
You know, I watched Kevin Smith's podcast. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of video
do it live.
now.
Their mics aren't any that much better than ours.
No, his audio isn't. I mean, they just put it wherever. But their big thing now is he's doing these TV live Google Hangout stream shows.
Yeah, there's another podcast, Fighter and the Kid. Then there's a bunch of other ones that probably are touring now and doing live podcast recordings.
On
sort of like
location.
this.
Yeah, because, and
they sell tickets to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
people will watch them talk for 2 hours.
No, there's and then like Radiolab does that too, and they sell out. So the big ones, this has become a thing now.
This one's almost sold out.
This one is sold out, and there was no tickets. That's the weirdest thing, without having any tickets.
And hardly any publicity from us.
There was a Facebook event. No, but everyone seemed... We got to get some of those comic books before people take them, because the kids are lined up right now.
I know. I saw that. They have Civil War Part 2 free comic book, like a 0 issue. And I haven't been following Marvel, but I guess Thanos is back.
I'm going to jump in the Civil War 2 when that starts.
You are?
With the 0 issue and the first issue.
Did you hear what the conflict was?
It's Captain Marvel
versus Iron Man, and the conflict is there's this Inhuman with predictive abilities.
Oh,
so
it's like Minority Report.
Yeah,
the precogs.
Yeah, so the debate is: if we have this information, should we get them, or should we wait because they really are technically innocent? They haven't done anything yet.
It's totally Minority Report.
And Iron Man is actually on the side of waiting.
What? He's on the other side.
And Captain Marvel's on the side of getting after these with the information we have.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Captain Marvel wants to get... Oh.
And it's female Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's the Carol Danvers. And then, so what if you just... Or I'm sure they just want to take out the Inhuman altogether. Captain Marvel, like this person cannot exist to have these powers.
No, I think I don't know how it's going to go, but I think initially they like this Inhuman.
They should introduce that dude on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who?
That Inhuman.
They should never introduce anyone on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, they shouldn't. People like that show, though.
Some people like that show. You know, I listened to a movie Bob review of Civil War.
Yeah.
And he starts out...
I have to hear that. How was that?
It's good.
Yeah.
He's like, one day Marvel will make a crappy movie.
Yeah.
But it's not anytime soon. I mean, he's like, and then he was just like listening, like, no, like, not the just okay movie that was all right, but like actually a bad movie. It's the law of averages. He's like, but they haven't made anything bad yet. No. But then he was like, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3 is kind of bad. But ignoring that.
But you're right though. Despite that, like we said in that Haters Guide, like the movies they range from like just okay to really good. They haven't fallen below, just okay.
They haven't hit that Batman v Superman
or that
level.
Or that Fantastic Four level. Not yet, anyway.
It's weird. I wonder if they'll ever... I mean, they have to when they make a bad movie. Right?
Yeah, I mean, how long could this try? It's been 8 years. Look at what they've done in 8 years, though. 13 movies in 8 years.
And none of them are lower than like 60%.
And like 3 of them or 2 of them have broke $1 billion. This is probably going to be...
break $1 billion.
This is going to be the next one. It hasn't even been 10 years.
Oh, you missed the button there.
Oh, shit.
You almost turned off the iPad.
We can't swear out loud. That's the only way I can swear.
I mean, we can once, like, the kids leave.
Are there still kids
here?
But
there's still kids here.
What do we do with the kids? We're like, hey, this is a podcast, but
we lure them in with candy.
No, we have to separate them from their parents and be like, look, psst, kid, don't tell your mom you're listening to this, but let me see your phone. I'm going to subscribe you. Anthony, that's the other thing. We got to grab people's phones and just subscribe them.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. If they want to come on, they have to subscribe to the show.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
That's fair.
That is fair.
You don't have to listen to it. You just got to click a button, man.
Right. So we just need those hits.
Where's Dwight? I need internet. Or Eric.
You need internet?
I want the internet Wi-Fi.
Here, let's take a break and we'll find Eric and then maybe get on the internet.
Oakley dokley.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
All right, Gig, we got our first guy up on Free Comic Book Day at Pastimes. We're here with John Parrish, comic book writer. What's up, John? How's it going?
It's going well. This is my first time, this year doing a comic book signing, and this is my first Free Comic Book Day. So it's been pretty cool so far.
What's most important, though, is this your first ever podcast?
Is this my first?
Yeah, it's
podcast?
the first podcast you've been on.
It's the first podcast of the year.
That you ever been on?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, shit. That's
There you
good.
go.
You've been on other podcasts?
I've been on a couple.
Right on.
Okay, but this is the first one of this year,
Yes.
2016. All right,
Yes.
cool. We'll
All right.
take that.
All right.
John he's here with his book called Secrets and Shadows.
Yes.
It's 6 issues, right?
Yes.
What's it about, John?
It's the first comic I ever wrote. It is a superhero murder mystery, essentially. Shadow is this guy going around and killing a bunch of heroes.
Okay.
So they don't know who he is. So it's basically the heroes are trying to figure out who the killer is. They're trying to figure out who he is. So he's just going around and he's killing all these heroes. And on the flip side, the main character is the son of the city's greatest hero.
Oh.
And so he's kind of just off doing his own thing because he really doesn't want to be a hero. He doesn't want to live that life. He wants a private life. Their two storylines kind of converge as the story goes. It's basically, will Joseph, the main character, will he step up, or will he kind of forsake everyone just for his privacy and his own sanity?
Oh, that's interesting. I love...
You want to spoil how that ends? No, I'm just kidding.
It's it's black and white art. I really love the art. It's got gray tones. It's got a very nice
Yes.
feel. So this is it's a 6 issue. You're done after 6, or will it continue?
Well, that was the first one I wrote. I wrote that back in 2009.
Oh wow!
Right when I moved to Japan. So
Oh.
that kind of pushed production back a lot.
Sure.
Why did you move to Japan?
Well, one, to be able to afford to pay my artist,
Okay.
and to pay off my loans, and to
So you moved to Japan to
What'd you
make
do?
money?
What'd you do in Japan? You were teaching.
I was
English?
a teacher,
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
I did go because my college had a program that graduates could go and teach for
Got
2
it.
years at the sister city, and so I always wanted to go.
Which city in Japan?
Kuji. It's
Okay.
in Iwate.
How long were you there?
2 years.
How was that experience?
It was really good. It was a really good learning experience. It was my first time really being far from home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super far.
Yeah, that was my first time
On your
leaving,
own?
being on my own and leaving the state. So when I left the state, I also left the country.
Right.
That's a culture shock.
So it was a culture shock, but I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. It was
What was communication like?
it took some learning. Before I went, one of my professors helped me learn basic phrases, so I knew where's the bathroom, how much does this cost, and all the things
That's important.
yeah,
Where's
and,
the McDonald's?
Yeah, where is so important.
Yeah.
So because I could do that, or how much does this cost, or things of that nature, it really helped ease me into it. But once I was there, I lived in a really rural area.
Nice.
So I kind of had to
Yeah, you'll pick it up, and I think you're teaching English, but when you immerse yourself in a country,
Yeah.
you end up learning the language, whether
Yeah.
you want to or
Yeah.
not.
So-
It just happens. Do you still remember any Japanese then?
I remember there's this one thing every morning my superintendent would come in and he'd be like, John, o genki desu ka? And I was always hi, because that's just what I learned. But somebody was like, oh, if you really want to blow his mind,
Yeah.
you have to say hi, okage-sama day, which is a really formal thing. And it's yes, because of God and all of you.
Oh, it's real, and
so-
nobody probably uses that. It's not
yeah,
colloquial.
So, yeah, it's very formal. So the fact that I used it was really, because it's how are you doing?
Yeah.
And then I'd be I'm great because of God and all of you. And it's so cool. He would just be he was really it made him so happy. So that was
That's
cool.
yeah. He's just when you say. When you say "Assalamu alaikum" to a Muslim guy, all that means is "peace be unto you," and it's
Yeah.
just it's a great saying that nobody, you say it in English, you're oh, that's nice. I like
Yeah.
peace. Yes,
Yeah.
peace
Yeah.
be unto you too.
Peace be unto you too. Yeah.
So you started writing this in 2009.
Yes.
So let me. What's the experience trying to put out your own book on your own independently? What have you learned? Any tricks?
I learned a lot about how much it costs, and it'll cost you money or it'll cost you time. And so if you don't have money to pay the artist right away, if you really like that artist, you have to like be willing to like stretch it out or save up the money to be able to pay them, because the artist on the book, or the guy who did most of the book, Dexter Wee, is a really good artist.
Art by Dexter Wee. And how'd you find this guy?
He was recommended to me. I knew a lot of people through digital webbing message boards. I used to do that, and I was big into that in high school.
Yeah.
And so I made a lot of connections with like artists and other writers. So one of my friends, I was looking for an artist. After my first artist, they kind of fell through.
Yeah.
And so I had a friend who was a writer, and he was like, well, I work with this guy Dexter. He's really good. And Dexter just like knocked it out of the park.
And where does he live? You were
He
telling
lives
me?
in the Philippines.
So,
Holy
like,
crap.
have you guys ever met? No, you've never met any of their talent. Like, isn't this is? I was just telling him, like, just like podcasts, we talk to people across the world.
Yeah.
you
That's
can
insane.
now collaborate
It
with
is.
people across the world that easily.
Yeah, it's very international. Like, the first artist lived in Chile. Dexter
Holy
lives
crap.
in the Philippines.
Yeah.
The guy who did the colors or like the grayscales inside, he lived in Chile. The guy who did my other book, Cluster, and I don't know if I
You could say it.
You could say that.
This is a
You
full.
could say that
Okay.
shit.
Right? There's no kids around
no,
right
no,
now.
no kids.
I know your mom's over there,
Yeah,
but you
but
could
she-
say
she-
that
yeah, she
because I
doesn't
want to
care.
ask you about. Go ahead. Say the
Okay,
title.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah,
So
it's a great title.
The
Except
team,
it's all like
that.
ampersand and
the team
ad signed
that
out.
did Clusterfuck, they live in Chile. They actually live like down the street from one another, which makes things really easy.
Oh yeah, that makes things
Dude,
a
this
little
is
bit more
an
efficient.
internet. You got an international independent comic book company going.
Yeah.
What is Clusterfuck about?
What is this clusterfuck?
I love the title.
Clusterfuck is but it's like a buddy cop comedy. It's like Men in Black, like the Men in Black movie, or like I liked like buddy cop movies back in the day. So it's kind of like in
You
that
Lethal
vein.
Weapon fan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like Riggs and Murtaugh, you know.
Mhm. Are they fighting like monsters?
Yeah, it's about two private eyes. So it's Jim and Carl. Carl can turn into a demon. Jim is just kind of a dick.
Okay.
And so it's about them, and
That's his power. He's just a dick.
that's really
Super dick power.
that's really his. Basically, they're two private eyes. They get ambushed by this wizard. And so that's the very beginning of the book.
cool.
That's the first thing. They wake up, they're in an underground lair.
Yeah.
And this guy's monologuing to them. So basically what happens is you find that Carl, the white guy, he can turn into a giant demon.
Cool.
And so basically after they kick the crap out of all the monsters and everything, they end up being pursued by the DEPD, which is the Department of Extraterrestrial and Paranormal Affairs.
Oh, cool.
See, I'm even messing it up because it's been so long. I just abbreviate it.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I love the genre. It's a lot like R.I.P.D. or Hellboy.
Yeah,
or
And how many issues is this?
That's the
That's
trade.
the whole
Just
thing.
one
It's
trade.
one-
It's
All
one
right.
complete trade.
And so this
Got
is
it.
published by Alterna Comics?
Yes.
And Secrets and Shadows is yours.
Secrets and Shadows is self-published.
Self-published.
Yes.
Wow. So if you had to give a couple of tips for anybody that's listening, maybe has an idea, wants to write, what is a couple of tips for them?
Yeah, it depends. If you want to be like taken seriously, or you want your book to really look good,
Yeah.
definitely get an editor.
Yeah.
Like my editor, and my editor is kind of known for being not harsh, but very, he'll tell you how it is. So like that helped
That's
me a
what you
lot.
need, man.
Yeah, that helped me get over a lot of my like stuff. So if I like handed him a script and I was just like, oh, it's my precious thing, and he's like, this is bad, this needs to be changed, and he like told me, he'd be like, this kind of sucks. I was like crushed the first time, but now I'm like, no, because I look at Secrets and Shadows and I look at Clusterfuck, and they're way better than the first drafts. Like the first drafts kind of suck,
Right?
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, like that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
But some people they don't like get other people's eyes on it, and they're too protective of it. It's like sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta let people.
Absolutely. I mean, I've learned working in like in the illustration and graphic design, for clients.
Yeah.
To not be married to anything I
Yeah.
do anymore.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning you're like, this is my baby, this
Yeah.
is precious. But you got to step back and be like, look, let's have an objective
Yeah.
eye. And if you're saying this story doesn't make sense, maybe it doesn't make
It doesn't.
sense.
Yeah.
You know?
And I try to tell people, I was like, you have to step back, and like, because once you create something, like it's out there, so you got to be ready. Like someone's not gonna like it,
Right, you're
But
not
yeah.
gonna please
You're not gonna
everyone.
please everyone.
So are you paying him? Do you pay the editor, or he's just helping
I
out?
paid the editor.
So that was another thing that you brought up in terms of independent creation stuff. And I've heard this in podcasts. Is there's 3 ways to do things, and you fast, cheap, or good. Now you can only do 2 of those
Yeah.
at any one time.
Yeah.
You can make it good, and fast,
Yeah.
it's not going to be cheap.
It's not going to be cheap.
You
at
could
all.
make it cheap and fast,
but it's not
not
be
gonna
good.
be
It's
good.
probably not going to be good.
you could make it. What's another combination? So you have to decide. Which two, and that's going to kind of guide you because maybe you don't want to spend any money. That's fine, but
Yeah,
that's going to limit you.
You kind of have to be willing. Like if you're like not willing to spend the money for the level of an artist that you want.
Yeah.
You can't be mad if the artist you can afford
Right.
is
Just
not
give me
at
a
the
shit.
level
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
You
can't
get
be
what you
upset.
pay for.
You get what you pay for.
What about Kickstarter? With like Kickstarter these days, I feel like it's given people, it's kind of leveled the field and given people a way to generate some income to make it better.
Yeah.
Did you do any crowdfunding?
Actually,
this?
that was Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's. I think
Clusterfuck was Kickstarted.
Yes,
Okay.
Clusterfuck was Kickstarter.
How was that experience? How important? Well, I mean, how much did that help you?
They didn't tell him to fuck off.
Clearly,
You got that?
cluster fuck off with Kickstarter.
It was very humbling
Yeah.
because a lot of Kickstarter is marketing. You have
Yes.
to. I mean, like
You gotta work it
you
every
gotta work
day.
it
Yeah.
every day. You got to.
You can't just put it up and press the button and be like, okay, give me money.
Yeah, you can't expect that because like my first day, I was like, well, I went out, I promoted it, I did all this stuff, and then the first day, I don't think I was sat there and was just hitting refresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the first few hours, and I was losing my mind, and then I was just like, no, you know what, I can't do that.
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna
that's
drive
how
yourself
you're gonna-
crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna I'm gonna get myself sick and stuff. So I was like, no. So I had to like pull back and just promote it, and like it's under Alterna, so like there's a crowd there.
Yeah, there's a built-in audience.
But I find that it's harder when it's a new property. A lot of the Kickstarters that get like comic book Kickstarters started off as webcomics, so
Yeah.
they built that audience over
That's
time.
that's the rub is like, yeah, you could just put anything on Kickstarter,
Yeah.
but if nobody knows you, if you
Yeah.
haven't given any work away for free,
Yeah.
it's not going to make a difference.
If they don't know you, they're less likely to like. My book was already finished. It was all digital, but this was
To get it printed.
To get it printed.
Okay.
So
So you could offer it, be like, this is the book right here.
yeah, I
this
can
is what
say,
you're
this
helping
is-
fund.
This is it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's done. It's on Comixology. I
Yeah,
could
wow.
plug that too. But
Nice.
it's like it was done, and that was still a push to get it, even though it's like I got a completed book.
You got it funded though on time.
Yeah,
Nice.
It
Congrats.
was
Nice.
not-
That's great. You get one of these.
Talking nerd.
You get one of those. Are they carrying your books here at Pastimes?
I don't think
Don't
so.
put them on the spot.
You should
like
talk to
that,
them.
you
I'm saying you
I-
should talk to them.
I was like,
they got room. There's an empty. I see empty slot over there.
because I think Eric had a copy.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen this somewhere, and it might have been here.
It might have been here because I gave it to him a while ago. Whenever they did, I met him at a Nerdalogs.
Okay,
podcast.
okay.
So I gave him a podcast. I gave him a podcast. I gave him a copy. And so
Here's this audio.
Here's a
Take it and run.
There's binary data that constitutes audio. So I that title clusterfuck, and it seemed familiar. Like I feel like I see it somewhere.
and I was like, and I'm on Twitter. I'm just like plugging it away.
Right on. Well, speaking of plugs, John Parrish.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the listener where they can find all your stuff and say hi and where to follow you?
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at John_H_Parrish.
Right on.
Parrish.
Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah. I always I just assume I'm like, yeah, they'll know. It's
Well,
2 R's.
there's like
1 R, 2
religious
Rs.
parishes with 1 R.
That's 1
Yeah,
R
I
Parish?
believe so, yeah.
Okay.
So yes, thank you.
It's more like EPMD Parish.
Yes,
Eric and
yes.
Parish making dollars.
Exactly.
That Parish.
Yes.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're
Yeah, I
talking
do.
Okay, good. See, he's cool. I like this guy. It's old school hip hop, man. EPMD.
about. Right.
like
Is,
Eric
is there
Sermon.
Fetty Wap in that?
No, what is it? What is a Fetty Wap?
What about Future?
It's like Drake, only 100 times better, and not crappy.
I was like, I don't know. I kind of like Future.
He's cool. He's a lot cooler.
He's crossing the
I like.
dude. Killer Jewels run the mic.
Yeah,
they're
no,
pretty
I
cool.
love all
Wait,
of them.
we're off. We got to plug your thing, and then we can talk about hip hop.
My website is Secrets and Shadows and secretsandshadows.net. It's
.net.
all one word.
Okay.
No ampersand. It's Secrets and
Write it
Shadows.
out. Spell
Yes.
it out, people.
And there you can find the links to like everything. My store envy, where I have like Secrets and Shadows and all my self-published stuff. Apparently, I need to.
All right, no, go, John.
Yeah.
I need to sign.
Dude, how don't you get a kick out of that?
Yeah.
Like every time somebody wants you to sign something?
It's really cool.
What does that mean to you?
It makes me feel like, like I've made it. Even if I don't like blow up and I don't like get a Marvel like gig or anything like that, like I still like to be able to be like I created something and people want to read it.
Listen, listener, check out secretsofshadows.net. Listen, you busted your ass. You got a whole trade paperback and 6 issues of a series. That is a lot of work to do independently, my friend. And it looks great, and we wish you the most luck.
Here, I got one question for you before you wrap up. Just you mentioned Marvel. What's the dream book you would want to write for a character?
See, I don't know. Because a lot of I don't want to sound like I don't know
No, just dude, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Who would you want to write? If you could pick any character,
character
or team, or
if
whatever,
you don't
or
want to
book.
write for a character and say you just want to keep doing original stuff.
I kind of want to keep doing original stuff, and but I will. And this is gonna sound really goofy, but I would like to write for a cartoon, those cartoons, like a Cartoon Network cartoon. I watch The Amazing World of Gumball.
Okay,
and I really like that. I think I even said on Twitter, I was like, if I could write a episode, an issue of Amazing World of Gumball, I'd probably be way more hyped than if someone was like, hey, we want you to write Spider-Man. I'm like, that's too much pressure. I don't know if I want to write Spider-Man, but I would write the shit out of an Amazing World of Gumball.
I don't even know what that is, but
it's amazing.
Really?
It's a fun comic.
No
it's
pun
a fun
intended.
little cartoon.
It's amazing. Dude, thanks for chatting with us.
No problem, yeah.
And we'll go back and sell your books. Go make some money now. John
right.
Parrish, everyone.
John
Thank
Parrish.
you.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, Imran.
Hey, Rug Boy.
Wouldn't it be great, since we're putting out all this content, that our listeners could support us? And maybe we had some kind of website or a way for them to do that?
Rugs, that's a great idea. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Jock and Nerd. Okay, it's all set up, listener. Just visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Wowie zowie!
Patreon is our virtual tip jar where you can donate any amount of money either per month or a nice large sum all at once. And on that Patreon, you get bonus content, as Imran mentioned. But if we hit certain plateaus every month, we improve our production quality. We get better equipment. We get on more platforms. It only helps us. So please get onto patreon.com/jockandnerd or jockandnerd.com/Patreon and support the show.
Jocktastic! I hear change jingling in your pocket.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake from the History of Bad Ideas. And we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program here in just a second, geek listeners. But we do a weekly podcast called The History of Bad Ideas.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss things like television or movies or music or games or any other thing that falls into our geek-related podcast knowledge.
You can find us on Geek Life Radio, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, or Radio-Blitz, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, or you can listen to us whenever the hell you want on iTunes and Stitcher.
Check us out. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye. Jock and Nerd.
We are now here talking to our buddy Kevin McPartland, who's sitting behind us. He goes by Mr. Antihero on Instagram. Kevin is a stencil artist. Kevin, what's up, man? Thanks for chatting with us on this Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Imran extended his hand like he was going to shake his hand and then just retracted it right away.
I talk with my hands. You would think I'm Italian sometimes. I'm pointing at things. Over here. I'm over here now. Kevin, is this your first Free Comic Book Day here with Pastimes?
This is actually my third Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, you're a regular.
Yeah, I was part of what I believe to be the original panel, if you will.
Oh, so they would classify you as an OG. For my
yes.
layman's, that's the original gangster.
Yes, very gangster. It was me and the guys from Unshaven Comics. And when it started, it was like one table up in the front. It was very cramped, and
now it's grown to 3 tables.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
now
I'm just kidding.
They have I like this setup with the space. It's kind of like a convention setup. We got tables in the round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've moved this place around quite a bit. I mean, I've been coming here for years and years and years.
Oh.
Not to be that guy. I didn't come here before it was cool.
Well, no, I mean, but when it was across the street and nobody could find it,
Yep.
That's when you had to know where it was.
Yes.
Like only, and I was like,
when we would come here, we were only going there for a short time when it was across the
yeah,
street.
we started. I mean, I remember that I looked it up on Google Maps and I drove here and I still couldn't fucking find the store. I was like, where? I'm looking at my phone. Where is this store? Could it be any more hidden? There still isn't a name out front.
No.
It's like, that's why it's the uber cool store. You got to know where it is.
I actually, I was with a friend, and I was like, hey, there's this comic book shop, and we should check it out. I haven't been there in a while, whatever. And I drove across the street to the old building, and it was like the Wings resale store. It's like,
where'd it go?
I'm like, no, these guys are going to be around forever. They do the magic stuff, which I have no idea what that is. But
we were just talking shit about magic people.
I heard. I really wanted to interject. You said it was all about drugs?
Yeah, we think it's a front for mafia dealings.
You guys want some Pikachu?
Bless you.
It's electric.
Yeah. Whoa. This guy's dude, I got a line on the best Pikachu you ever going to have.
Really?
Let me tell you. It's
really
100% uncut. Kevin, what are your wares here? What are you selling? What do you do?
So I'm a stencil artist, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. I find pictures and old art stuff and lots of comic book stuff that I like, and I make them into stencils and blow them up. The whole rationale behind it is, especially with the comic book covers that I do, is comic book covers get printed, and they're like album covers. You know, you never see them. It's almost becoming a lost art, especially with the digital stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, a good book might sell a couple 100,000 copies, but all that artwork sits in boxes for its lifetime.
Dude, I never really thought about that. How crazy is that? I have boxes of stuff and brilliant pieces of art that you want to display, and they're all stacked up against each other, closed, like records too.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense because...
Same thing with like all my old issues, like the ones when I used to collect. Like I have first appearance of Punisher, and it's just sitting in a box. Like it's not out for anyone to see because it's supposed to be protected from light or whatever. So I literally can't ever pull it out.
The
and
whole
just display
thing
it.
is art. So I love that you're taking classic comic book covers and blowing them up and stenciling them, and like you put them on canvas ultimately.
Yep. 18 by 24 canvas. So.
And you use what's the medium that you finish it with? Spray paint.
It's just spray paint.
It's just spray paint.
It's all spray paint.
Wow.
Yeah. I bought an airbrush, and I was like, all right, spray paint is like bad to inhale and all this stuff. I'll get an airbrush, and I mixed colors like once, and I'm like, this is not happening at all. I'm going back and buying
I tried back in my youth. I was gonna start my airbrush T-shirt airbrushed empire.
Yeah.
And I learned. I bought the compressor and I got the airbrush, and I was like, well, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. Because it really takes so much skill. You have to know your airbrush. The fucking thing will clog up on me. I didn't know how much pressure. I have to clean it out all the time.
Yep.
I was like, maybe this wasn't. And you go to Six Flags and you see the guy doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was inspired by. I was like, I could do that. Make some money.
I want the Tweety Bird with the backwards hat and all the money.
Yeah, I want the OG Sylvester and Tweety Bird.
I want the Bugs Bunny Scarface.
Oh man, it was not easy. So I want to know, what's your process when you go? How do you pick what you're going to do first of all, and then what happens?
It's fairly random, my picking of covers that I like to do. I like to stay with stuff that's not like super mainstream.
Okay.
Like a lot of times you can go into like Michael's now, and they'll have like little tin comic book cover stuff that you can put on the wall. So
Whole Foods had posters, full comic book cover posters at Whole Foods.
I'm suing them.
You should. And now look, it was printed on organic, biodegradable, edible paper.
Yeah, no, my stuff is terrible for the environment, so just buy it and watch the planet
This man
burn.
uses gold spray paint.
Yes.
And you must catch quite a buzz in your little spray papers.
Sometimes, but yeah, and that's another big thing I use a lot is gold and silver, which is something really cool that spray paint lets you do that other mediums don't.
Yeah.
It's like
metallic.
And I'm a kid of the 90s, I want everything shiny. Like, I want chromium covers.
Yeah, I
like,
want the
all
hologram
over.
die cut.
So, yeah, and I really like it. It seems like it really catches people's eye. The downside to it is it's incredibly hard to photograph.
Besides the fact that you're dying every day that you do these?
Well, I do it outside now.
It's got vents.
Just kidding.
You mean to sell, to get it out, it's hard to shoot it.
It's super hard to photograph.
Really?
Metallic colors and
it's
stuff.
metallic. It's going to shift, yeah.
But I just kind of pride myself on being the what you see is what you get guy.
Right on.
And yeah, it's like, I come up to places like this and like, boom, that's what I do. And, check it out. And people are always like, oh, that's so cool. Or the best is like, oh, I remember when I bought that book, like, new off the shelf. It was like 85, and I was like, I wasn't born then, but keep telling me, bro. Like, I'm interested.
And, like, just standing here, a lot of people have come by, and they're just, like, different things connect with different people. So you're very smart to bring these classic things back.
Well, thank you.
And turn them into art. Now, how much are you selling these 18 by 24s for?
Well, I'm having a pretty big sale on them right now. They've been marked down quite a bit. I'm doing 18 by 24s for $65 today.
Oh, that's not bad. Suitable for framing.
Yes.
And it's a perfect size. So, like this one, for example, it's Dark Knight Returns.
Yep.
What was it? The third cover for the last one?
I think
4.
that was it 4? It was either 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
It seems like a scene from the movie.
It probably says on there.
Well, but how? Like, take us through the process of that. What do you do first, and how do you stencil it out?
Well, see, I don't do any of my stenciling with Photoshop, which is kind of big in stenciling right now, because you can take a image and you can break it down in Photoshop where it'll give you layers.
Yeah.
So what I do is I just get the picture, I print it out the size, I'll hang it up on a wall for a little while, kind of just stare at it and like game plan, and then like, all right, this got to be here, this got to be here. So you have to structure how you're going to cut stuff out so it doesn't just all fall apart.
Right. That's the craziest thing about stenciling. It's kind of like printmaking is a little bit thinking backwards.
Right.
And thinking about how it's what layers.
Yeah.
Or like it's like silk screening and printmaking and everything.
Well, the thing with that makes stenciling different than silk screening that is like a silk screen, you can do any shape you want. A stencil has to have structure because it's cut holes.
Got to connect. So how many pieces do you end up with?
Well, the Batman vs. Superman's only a few colors for those of you who know the cover of Batman and Superman fighting kind of like on
they're
the
in
hill.
silhouette, and there's the sun is falling behind them.
But like sometimes I'll do up to like 10 copies, and I have to sit there and cut out like this is green, this
each
is
color.
dark green,
Wow.
this is brown.
Yeah.
You have a lot of patience.
I really don't. Everyone says that, and like, oh, you're so patient. And I get that a lot, and it's just like, no, it's kind of meditation for me.
It's all therapy. The greatest art is therapy when you can get in there in the details. And you're on Instagram? Where can they find you on Instagram?
I'm on Instagram at Mr. Antihero. There's no punctuation, no capitals.
How'd you jumped on that name? How'd you get Mr. Antihero?
I just signed up for it.
Nobody had it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And that's my email, too. It's just mrantihero@outlook.com.
Listen here, check out this work. If you want some awesome original geek artwork to hang on your walls, you do commissions?
Absolutely.
Dude, check out Mr. Antihero on Instagram. Now, what I want to really talk about is you had an idea for a documentary.
Yes.
That was very interesting.
Is this what you talked about off air?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been talking off air for like 3 hours.
Oh, we had
so
great conversations. We should have recorded. I was like, damn it, we should have recorded all this. What is your documentary idea?
Okay, so I had this idea for a documentary, which I've been kind of working on and off for like the last 6 months to a year. And the documentary is called God Save the X-Men. And what it's about is it kind of goes through different stages. It kind of talks about, first of all, the social commentary that's involved with the X-Men. It was big in the 60s, and I'm sure you guys know about that stuff. But as it goes on, it talks about all the behind-the-scenes dealings with the movie rights to these different properties, these comic book properties that have become huge business.
Yeah.
Since X-Men 1, you actually brought up a great point with Blade.
Yeah.
Because Blade is like,
Blade kind of really launched everything.
Well, Blade's like was the foot in the door, and X-Men blew it out.
Yeah, and then X-Men busted out through.
So yeah, I mean it's about that, and I'm sure some of you guys know there's crazy stuff going on with Fox owning the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and Disney bought Marvel, so they're like a powerhouse now because Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars and probably 10 other things I can't even mention. Pixar. And yeah, so it's kind of about that, and then there's a huge conspiracy theory within the comic book community that Disney Marvel is downplaying X-Men in the books and trying to kill them off, enforcing the Inhumans down our throat, which is like X-Men light.
Well, you want to know some background on this, so there's this guy, Ike Perlmutter.
Hey,
who
Perlmutter.
used to run the Marvel. He ran like all of Marvel's comics and like their movie division.
Feige had to report to him.
Right. So he ran all of it, and he was purposely, from what reports are, putting down like any of the Fox X-Men stuff. Any Fox properties that were Marvel, he was purposely like downplaying in comics. So this is like an actual thing that was happening.
I mean, look at this rack right here. Find me a Fantastic Four comic book right now.
Oh, they're done.
It does not exist, which is after Secret Wars. I was like, oh my God, they killed there's no Fantastic Four.
And this guy Ike was the main reason why Inhumans started getting pushed heavily in the comics, because they wanted them to kind of replace.
And that whole thing has kind of got shuffled around too. They pulled the Inhumans, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they don't know what they're doing.
Not to take you too off track.
No, that's exactly it. And I mean, a lot of people think that there was some backroom deal that happened with Fox and Marvel to allow Fox to make the X-Men television shows we're going to get.
Yes, Legion and Hellfire.
Yeah, and they think that maybe they gave them back the rights to Fantastic Four
I
to
hope so.
Disney.
I heard some rumors that the FF may be going
that
back.
rumor
Yeah.
is
It's old rumor.
It's pretty big now on the webs. Like
getting very-
if you get on like the Marvel subreddit,
Well, after Fan 4 Stick, I mean,
Fan
it's,
4 Stick was horrible. Listen, let's just give him back Galactus and Silver Surfer and all the cool villains, and get someone who can really have fun with it.
well,
And
not only those, I mean, you got to give them like Doom is huge.
Doom, Dr.
the
Doom.
Scrolls are big. That's all.
well, and that's what we were kind of talking about earlier with Spider-Man and the Avengers.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Batman are the two best rogues galleries ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the movie franchises have a big-time villain deficit.
Well, you know what's crazy though about, and it's getting to spoiler territory, but like,
Okay, hold on.
he's seen Civil War, so I'm not spoiling anything for him. But they got into Black Panther and didn't really even need to do an origin for that. They just
No.
kind of jumped
Yeah.
into him, and people kind of just accepted it.
It worked so well. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have to explain
They
where you got
they
the costume.
briefly explained
Yeah.
just some side notes here and there, but it wasn't a full on origin story or anything.
No, and that was great about like the original Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
As I recall, and it's been a while since I've seen it. It's like it starts and he's
Yeah,
Batman.
he is Batman. Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
I always want these movies to start.
In fact,
well,
I think he says that's his first line.
I'm Batman.
yeah.
What are you? I'm Batman. And then
It's
that
all
becomes
coming
I'm
back.
Batman. It's like I'm Batman degraded to I'm Batman. No.
Just a groan, just like.
But so going back to the X-Men movies for a
Yeah.
second. What do you think would have happened if Singer was able to not get messed around by the studios and get kicked out for that third one, and then him coming back and kind of redeeming
Well,
himself?
here's the thing, though. He didn't get kicked out of it.
What happened? Why did he not
He
make that one?
left
for
because
Superman?
He wanted to make Superman Returns. That was his passion project that he'd always wanted to do.
But see, I'd also heard that that opening sequence in X-Men 3 when they're fighting the Sentinels in the Danger Room.
Yes.
I heard he wanted to do the Sentinels in that third movie, and it was going to be really expensive, and Fox would not give him the money to do it.
Also, Fox wanted to release that movie at a certain time, and it wasn't working for Singer's timeline with Superman Returns. If they would have just waited,
Yeah.
they probably could have had Singer do that too.
Yeah.
But they were like, we got to get this out
The
this date.
studios always screw
Well,
these
Yeah.
things
studios set dates for movies that don't even have scripts.
But I love documentaries like this because property franchise journeys is so fascinating. I want to see an X-Men one, and I want to see a Spider-Man one.
Yeah.
Because his story from the 80s through multiple different studios, multiple different hands. Like we were talking about, Cameron has written a Spider-Man script. I think he wrote an X-Men script at
Yeah.
one point. What would have been?
Cameron almost did a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, all these movies that would have happened, similar to like the Death of Superman Lives documentary, which is awesome. Everyone should watch that. I think this is a great new genre of documentaries. Are you going to kickstart this or something? How serious is this?
It's very serious. I mean,
Really?
I have
Oh,
a
jeez.
Kickstarter approved. I've just got some stumbling blocks and working on a trailer and getting a trailer together.
Yeah.
And getting people committing to being interviewed.
Do you have not about naming names or anything, but do you have people that you know that you could talk to and get?
I've definitely reached out to some people and
Yeah.
got some pretty strong some pretty strong maybes, a few yeses.
Oh, sweet.
I don't want to drop anybody.
Yeah.
The one thing I can say is I had a friend at Marvel who said that they took all the X-Men posters and everything down out of the Marvel offices.
Wow.
And that it was just not even allowed.
Well, there's even covers of I believe it's Secret Wars, where they the old covers will have the Thing and Wolverine on them, and they've replaced them in
Oh,
the new
yeah.
ads and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
I've
old,
seen that.
yeah, that's so sneaky. And on T-shirts for that Secret Wars, they changed the art out. And I think right now there's tons of rebooted titles, but I think there's only 2 X-Men titles.
Yeah, there's definitely
Extraordinary.
less.
Yeah, there's not as many.
There's not as X-Men still sells really well. The thing is too is Fantastic Four was always not selling that greatest, but they didn't always push it either.
Right.
But X-Men still sells decently, so that they're still selling the titles, but the main stuff doesn't really mention.
See,
that
and I don't
stuff.
even mind that there's less X-Men titles.
Right.
Because it's more concise. I mean, there was too many before.
Right.
It was convoluted to try to
Yeah.
follow all the timelines.
Well, the X-Men continuity in and of itself
Yes,
just
it's
doesn't.
fucked.
It's
It's
all
screwed,
over the
So
place.
that's why I'm not bothered with these new movies where they make Mystique a leader and Magneto is a
Yeah.
horseman. Dude, it's fine in the universe. It makes sense. Their timeline is so messed up that
Oh, yeah.
you can't make heads or tails of it anyway, so just have fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff I wish they would have done better, but overall, I mean, they're fun to watch, and they've gotten real better since their
The
Death
soft
and Rebirth
reboot, yeah.
after
I agree. I
X-Men.
like what they're doing. It's strong. It's very consistent.
Yep.
Although you did bring up a good point. Now every time I see the trailer where Apocalypse takes place in the 80s, right?
Yep.
All these motherfuckers should be looking 20 years older.
Yeah.
They look exactly the same in like the last
'cause
3 decades.
So if you
movies.
think of First Class was in the 60s, right?
Yep.
And another one was in the 70s.
The next one was in the 70s.
Right.
This one's in the 80s.
They
so
all look-
Mystique is still, you could at least explain she has the mutation where she can look younger.
Yeah.
McCoy looks Hank looks the same.
McCoy-
Nobody's aged a day.
Beast hasn't aged a day.
Yeah.
Well, the reason, too, is that they wanted to put this in the 80s so that Jean Grey and Cyclops being kids would match up with the 2000s timeline.
Right, and Storm.
And Storm. But the fact that they put it in the 80s and these actors, it's only been like 5 years, these actors haven't aged at all.
Right.
So from that sense, it doesn't make any sense.
Just look past that. It's
You
fine.
gotta
You gotta look past
I
it,
mean,
yeah.
how old was Harry Potter when that last movie came out?
Oh, he was like 37.
Yeah, he was 37. He's still in
Listen,
high
Tobey Maguire was a 30-year-old playing a fucking high school student.
He was in college, wasn't he?
Toby?
In the first one, I think he was still in high school in the very first one.
You're right.
In the second one,
You're
he
right.
was in college. In the third
Well,
one.
Andrew Garfield, I looked it up. Andrew Garfield was like at least 26 when he started Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's playing like an 18-year-old.
Finally, they got an actual kid who looks 15 with a young voice.
You know, he's 19.
Still, though.
Yeah, he's a teenager,
He,
though. Yeah.
he plays 15 really
And
well.
he
You
looks
buy it.
he looks young as
He
hell.
looks like, yeah.
I was listening to something that was like people from outside the U.S. and they talked about how weird all the like high school dramas and stuff were, like Power Rangers, because they're watching over there and be like, these
are
people
adults.
are 30 years old. These are full-grown adults, and like,
Why is anybody buying that? These are teenagers.
I have a niece who's really into Power Rangers,
Yeah.
and I want to go back and watch the series because there's like 10 series
Right.
now. There's like Dino Force, and
Yeah.
Eagle Strike or something. I want to go back and watch the original
Yeah.
one.
and see if they looked older than they really
Yeah,
were.
I bet you they're really.
They, if I remember correct, because I remember watching Power Rangers as a kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't like high school, I believe, right? Because
Yeah.
there were a lot of scenes
Angel
like
Grove
cafeteria.
High.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Right.
What do you think about? Did you see the new costumes? And what do you think of that?
I saw them. I mean, I'm not a big Power Rangers
Yeah,
guy.
me neither.
Even though Kimberly Jo Johnson definitely put me through puberty,
Pink-
like when I
look,
was like
even I know the
15.
Pink Ranger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy.
she was awesome.
Yeah.
she's a legend. Hope you're listening. But I'm not really emotionally connected to the Power
Good,
Ranger
good.
franchise, which is probably for the best.
Yes.
because the new suits look. I don't even know. Here's what I hate, especially in comics with women's costumes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there can like. The boobs are so pronounced,
Yeah.
and it's terrible in comics because comic books are just naked women with seam lines on them, and it's like you should not be able to see the crack of someone's ass when they're standing up,
No.
even if they're wearing spandex.
Dude, somebody brought up the Scarlet Witch's actual comic book costume.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if they put? It's like a banana hammock red thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's practically not. She's wearing one piece of fabric. That's it.
Well, Olsen just went on like Jimmy Kimmel or something and talked about when she auditioned in the first thing. They're like, listen, we want you to play the Scarlet Witch, and there's no chance you wear.
You don't have to wear this.
Outfit.
It's
So it was like off the table from the beginning.
You look at the drawing of that, and I'm like, how's that even staying on her? I don't understand.
Well, how about Emma Frost from some of the new X-Men stuff? She's
She's very scantily clad. Yes,
She's they
She's
keep,
always
But
been
that
White
top
Queen.
defies physics.
Yeah,
Yeah, they always keep her. Even in the movies, they've kept her scantily clad.
because she has to turn to glass and stuff. I don't know.
No, it's part of. I think it
Yeah.
is more part of her character, the sex appeal thing.
It is.
Whereas-
She uses it.
Scarlet Witch does not need to be.
I love watching Rebecca Romaine Stamos as Mystique because I'm just like, that's Rebecca Romaine Stamos, and she's pretty much nude. She's
Yeah.
pretty much naked.
No,
she's
she
just
is
wearing
nude.
paint.
Singer acknowledged it. He's like, I'm so glad that's what we decided to do with Mystique because my movie needed boobs.
Yeah,
Like,
they
he just
got
came
it.
out and said it, and I was like,
got
you're
it.
not wrong.
Well, dude, listen, let us know when your Kickstarter starts, when you get this rolling. We'd love to promote it. I think with, like, Death of Superman Lives, I think we're going to see more of these kind of documentaries get made. And I think as it happens, more of these people are going to want to tell the true untold story.
Oh, and I'm
these are like
sure.
the untold stories that are missing.
I'm
from
super
this.
interested, and I usually fake that I'm interested in what people are talking about. I'm actually interested, so I would definitely watch.
Well,
them.
there actually is a Facebook page up for it already. God
Oh,
Save
right
the
on.
X-Men.
Wow.
So you can
God
search it.
Save the X-Men Facebook
and,
page.
It's there. So, and
What's
now,
do you have a? I don't know if you want to reveal this on the show, but do you hope one day, or do you see that it might go back to Marvel, or do you think it'll always be with Fox? At least for the foreseeable future, can't predict.
I kind of like that it's with Fox, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because, like, we need a little bit of diversity in telling of these stories. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Disney and Marvel would knock it out of the park, and I'd see Wolverine in his mask and, like, you know, yellow costume and the whole bit, even though I do think they need to shift away from Wolverine. But, you know, they'd give us the real
Batman,
costume.
dude. They got to put him in everything.
What's crazy about the X-Men is it could legitimately exist in its own universe because that universe is so wide an array of characters, and plus the whole mutant thing, like, it's an allegory for racism and all that.
Yeah.
But if you include it with superhumans, then that kind of loses its specialness.
It muddies it. Yeah, it dilutes it a little bit.
What's the real difference between a mutant and an inhuman and a super
powered
enhanced person? Yeah, they're all the same at that point.
Well, the big difference is the X-Men were born that way.
Right.
They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, because I think the X-Men universe could be just as large and as varied as the MCU, as the Avengers universe.
And Deadpool's proved that. And I think this is what's going to happen, because hasn't he said this is like his last X-Men movie trilogy?
Singer?
Singer said it's the end of the First Class trilogy.
So now you could do New Mutants, you could do X-Force, you could do all these Deadpool movies. You can get those guys and move them into this fun Deadpool thing. But you're right, it can be as wide and diverse as the MCU.
See, and I've thought this out quite a bit because I have a lot of free time.
Cutting out stencils and
cutting out
just
stencils
thinking to
and
myself.
thinking about the world, the X-Men. I think where Wolverine, because we all know this can be last Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
They're doing the Old Man Logan, from what I heard.
Allegedly, kind of, but we all know that can't really happen because of movie rights stuff. But I think Deadpool should make a cameo in the Wolverine movie.
Yes.
Definitely.
R-rated?
I would say so.
Well, it is going to be R-rated, the new Wolverine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I would kind of end it, whether Wolverine lives or dies or whatever, with Deadpool kind of carrying on the Wolverine legacy and starting Weapon X.
Yes,
or not Weapon X, X-Force.
Yeah, pass the torch, him being Weapon 9.
Yep.
And Logan's like, all right, man, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And he's like, he doesn't want to make this decision, but he's forced to.
Well, what I hope, though, is if they pass, like, sort of proverbial pass the torch, Wolverine to Deadpool, that they don't. X-Men is an ensemble cast, and what X-Men, these prior movies have kind of fallen back on is just Wolverine show. Give every character's awesome in X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, Wolverine's really cool and really popular, but I hope they don't just make it the Deadpool show.
Right.
You know, I hope, like, Cyclops can be, even though he's kind of a square, he can be awesome. Jean Grey, like, focus on everybody.
Well, I think there should still be more X-Men movies, but I think then you get into, like, the spin-off things, like it'll be like Deadpool and the X-Force, which will be like X-Men Black Ops plus humor because Deadpool, and then, you know, New Mutants is more like younger kids, which is cool, and you kind of break it, which is the way the books did.
Yep.
I mean,
Rob Liefeld must be just fucking jizzing all over his pants.
Well, he always is jizzing all over his
Everything
pants.
I've made is like, I can see it. I mean, he's going to bring Cable in the sequel, and that's huge. That opens up so many more things that you could do now.
More time travel and craziness.
And I can't wait. What are you reading these days that's good? Like, what's current that you could recommend to a listener? Pick up this.
I'm reading All New Wolverine and loving it. X-23.
It's the girl. See, and I think that's another thing they could do in the movies.
Yeah, and that's
If he's old, just put X-23 in there. She's awesome.
Absolutely.
And then maybe Dakin, like his kid.
Yup.
Dakin. Well, Dakin would be like the evil.
Yeah, he'd be like the bad guy.
Evil Wolverine.
Evil Wolverine.
So, other than that, Rat Queens.
Rat Queens. I don't know this one.
Okay, so Rat Queens is like this story. It's like a medieval, like, sword and sorcery story about this group of young women called the Rat Queens, and they go on all these different quests and stuff. And Eric put me up on it, and it's been phenomenal. The third trade just came out.
Right on.
Walking Dead is still read every month. You gotta do it.
I'm still reading that too.
Outcast. Have you read Outcast?
No, I've heard that this is also good.
It is good. It's it's like a traveling exorcism team as a priest and this younger guy. It's pretty much what it becomes without giving anything away. It just got picked up to be a TV show.
That's what I thought.
I thought that was about Big Boy and Andre 3000.
It's not about Shake It Like a Polaroid.
No, but I will anyway.
Outcast with a C. You got some customers. Well, dude, Kevin, thanks for chatting with us.
Thanks for having
listener,
me.
check out Mr. Antihero on Instagram. We'll have links to everything. And I think we're going to hear from you more on the Jock and Nerd podcast because Kevin's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jock and Nerd.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
Listener, we got friends of the show who you may have heard of if they've been on the show. In fact, a year ago, twice. A year ago, we were here. and nobody else was, but you guys were here. Of course, I'm talking about the guys from Unshaven Comics, Mark Allen Fishman, Matt Wright. What's up, guys? Thanks for chatting with us today.
What's going on?
Glad to be here.
This is Free Comic Book Day, May 7th.
May 7th at Pastime, Free Comic Book Day. How's your booth going over there? What do you got over there?
Oh, it's, we're just, there's so many people lined up.
It is. It's a madhouse.
Crazy.
We're
just holding them back.
We've sold 36 pages of one book.
We're just holding them back.
Yep.
And right now, we got somebody looking at one, and Kyle's giving us that dirty stink eye where it's just like you walked away. What did you do?
You guys need a velvet rope over there to control the crowd.
I shouldn't say anything because I walk out of here with a ton of commissions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you do. These past couple of years.
I had fans.
How many? You've done some already?
Yeah, I did 2 different Pokemon, and then I did mashup piece of some My Little Ponies.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, you're a brony.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not. But I take their money.
No, but he lost a wonderful bet about, what, a year ago? Or is it a year or was it 2 years ago?
More than a year, yeah.
Yeah, more than 2 years ago. So now he's chained to doing it for as long as that show is in any kind of circulation.
we have a lot of furries listening to the show, and they would love art, so we can turn them on to you guys.
I only handle the My Little Pony, but Matt loves furries.
Oh, that's nice.
So
nice.
You do the small on a small card, right?
Yeah, and then it's funny, before Matt got here, because he's my supplier.
Push him, man.
He had the card, so I ended up having to do like a double-sized piece.
Oh.
But it's for the same girl who bought one last year, and she actually told her parents this morning, she's like, we're going to see Fishman.
Oh, nice. Fishman. It's a little kid?
Yeah.
Oh, and what do you charge for those commissions?
$5 for the trading card.
Oh, that's great.
And then I was charging $20 for the bigger card, but I don't know. I think I charged, because her parents secretly ordered 2 commissions for her afterwards. So I got a big mass payment from them, and then 2 Pokemon I've never heard of.
Nice.
You know what a Pikachu is?
I know the originals.
Yeah,
These are all the newfangled ones.
outside of the originals.
Oh,
I think,
the new ones. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty much outside of the originals. Like they're pretty much all new ones to us.
Yeah,
like
there was 50.
Yeah,
there was 50 to start, right?
They've added more.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's been X amount of years, man.
Honestly, at this point, if they did like a post, it's like one of those Simpsons posters. If they put it all together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like you just stand there and be like,
It's
okay,
100 characters. Who is that?
This one.
Reshiram?
Reshiram.
It's Reshiram.
I had an uncle named Reshiram. He drove a cab.
So he was a Sonic wolf dragon?
He was a Sonic Indian wolf dragon. He loved curry.
And him driving a cab somehow strangely fits. Right.
And then I did Leafeon.
Is he a leaf?
It's a fox
leaf thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. No, commissions, dude, that's such a great way to generate a little bit extra income, and fans get something really special. One of a kind, special art that you're not going to get anywhere else. Well, dude, when you guys are doing these commissions, how important is the speed of how fast you can crank these out?
It really all depends on
It's important, but we don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, like if you got 1 or 2 lined up, it's you can do a little bit of a time, and but like there's been shows where it's like Mark and I have worked, and either he's chained to the table or I'm chained to the table, or we're both chained to the table, and we're backlogged so much that suddenly you're just like, okay, I've got like 10 of them now penciled. I'm just going to do a mass inking.
Yeah,
and I'm just going to go through and like everyone that's
Assembly
green
line.
or has a green thing in it, let's do all of that. And you just kind of do like a paint by numbers
Listen,
kind
if
of
you're
thing.
at a con, that's a good problem to have, though,
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Well, I've seen I'm the one to complain at Matt more than he to me, but there are times that people give him a commission, and I see him sitting there with a 0.01 micron, just adding the stitching to the guy's T-shirt.
You're like, dude, what are you doing?
I'm like, come on, man! It's like you're charging by the hour. I mean, because we undercharge in comparison to a lot of the other artists.
Oh yeah.
And some fans have picked up on that. Like when we used to do Wizard World. There was this group of 4 dudes who used to come up every year, and to them it was like a game show. They just came to Matt and they're like, "All right, man." They just plunked $20 down. They're like, "We got you for the rest of the day."
Services.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to clean. I haven't seen those guys in a minute too, which is sad. I've been on the other side of the table and plucked hard. Earned money onto the table and been like, can I get this cool thing? And somebody's come back and it's like, I paid $100 for you to do a bust.
Yeah, in 5 minutes.
Right, and it's just like, ugh. And so it's like, yeah, am I massively undercharging for my artwork? Yes, I blatantly admit that. I've raised some of my prices And some of the more
that's okay.
Some of the more loyal people that like follow me and like they've been like, oh yeah, no, that's fine, I don't care,
Right.
which is great. But like some of these, it's like I'll try and hold it up to like some like they'll come by and they'll be like, it's like I just paid $300 for this 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and Jim Lee did a scribble on it, and I'm sitting here going like, for $300, I will do you an 11 by 17.
Yeah, I'll paint you a goddamn mural
thing of the exact same
you could have
thing.
just stopped at "I will do you."
I will just do you.
So then there's the times where we'll put a bunch of work into like a pre-made piece, thinking like I'm going to put it on the table.
This is gonna fly,
and it's
Yeah.
going to fly. And I've got some like that are still in my book that are now
That
like
just
3
don't-
years old.
Damn. See-
But I'll tell you, I have one piece. It's called Domoception.
Yeah.
I've made like
This
4
is
of them.
this is like his masterpiece.
It's the
Oh, nice.
It's how many domos can you put?
Domo
On a
on top of
domo,
Domo, head
domo,
wearing a
domo,
hat,
domo,
wearing a
yeah.
Domo. A Domo dressed as a Domo. Is that what that is?
It's
Domos on domos on domos.
I mean, if we're going to get into
Snacks
the
on snacks.
specifics,
Yeah.
and I know your audience wants to
Yes,
know.
they do.
Okay, it is a Domo wearing a Domo suit with a Domo cap, with a Domo hand puppet holding a Domo mug, and a Domo plushie wearing a Domo shirt, standing on top of a giant Domo.
Nice.
Wait, where did the Domo come from again?
He's a Japanese mascot.
Oh.
He's like a TV.
He's like the NBC peacock. Or
Oh, okay, for a broadcast of
yeah,
Japan somewhere.
and it's just and the cuteness of him just
How did
somehow
he get
caught
big?
on
Yeah,
fire.
how did he get big here?
I think his name's going to escape me, but one of the pro skaters with the Tony Hawk crowd
Yeah.
Oh,
had
yeah.
a Domo
Yep.
sticker on the bottom of his
Oh,
deck.
that'll do it.
But Domo translates universally like Domo Deadpool.
Oh yeah, it's the perfect like blank template to make it whatever.
It's like
Yeah.
what are those things they sell? The Moonies or like the like the little things that like you can buy. They're blank. And
Yeah.
you can like draw a paint on them or do whatever.
Oh,
it's
those are
kind
fun.
of like
Yeah,
one
it's
of those
kind of like
things.
it's
yeah.
a blank template that you
Yeah.
can know.
I'm trying to find one of like some of the stuff that Matt's done.
It's like become like Hello Kitty too. Like yes, everybody just loves.
So while you look that up, what have you guys been up to since the Samurai?
Let's talk Salmonauts because look, the last episode. Look, we're just gonna.
Hey, we gotta go.
No,
All
hey,
right.
sit down. You ain't moving anywhere. Here's why. You guys.
Yeah, where's my damn book?
You
That's what I'm
guys,
getting at
we
right
both, Anthony, last time we were on, Mark Allen Fishman was on to promote his Kickstarter, which Anthony and self both backed, and we were like, and then it got funded, and we were like, cool. But then what happened? I don't remember. Were we supposed to get something? What's going on?
You'll still get yours. I guess the short excuse is that Kyle got married, and then Matt and I each had kids.
Our second one.
Second
Dude,
kid.
a wife and babies, that's a lot. That's a lot to
Yeah.
do while you're trying to make a book.
It is. It's honestly what it just came down to.
Congratulations, first of all.
Yeah,
No, thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on that and getting funded on the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
we were
a
very
big thing too.
We were super pleased about that, and I think like the book's still being worked on. I guess what it came down to, we really care about finishing this book, and we're not cutting any corners. In fact, the fourth book's going to end up being like 42 pages instead of 36.
It keeps expanding. Like last night we were working on it in Mark's basement, and I'm working on a page, and I show him Mark I'm like, okay, so I think here's my plan. So this is a 1-page splash, and then here's another 1-page splash. And I think for like the single issue book, we can kind of like Photoshop this and condense for a page, but then we can these can be their own thing for the director's cut or the big collection. And Mark's looking at it, he's going like, oh boy. He's like, man, God help me, if you come to me with an 8-page gatefold, I am going to kill you.
Well, it's twofold. Like I'll kill him, and I'll be like, we're going to do
We're
it.
still gonna do it.
Yeah, we'll
That's
price
really
it out.
cool.
But I mean, just.
But the good news is, and I'm glad to announce this because we did get some great support from your listeners. If you guys didn't see in the Kickstarter, basically because we're so egregiously late,
Yeah.
I'm changing it up so everybody gets everything.
Oh, sugar nerd.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so all of the prints that people were going to get one of,
Yeah.
all prints to everybody.
Right on.
And then anybody who ordered the 3D printed monkey, we have overprinted some of those.
Oh, cool.
So I'm basically going to take probably a tier back. So I don't remember how much it was to get the toy, but whatever it was, we'll just go one backwards.
That's great. And that's that
awesome.
blank one you can kind of paint and
Yeah.
stuff.
To be very honest, I forgot that I even was getting anything until I saw these guys today.
Well, yeah.
So it's no sweat off my back.
No, and I was going to reiterate that in the sense that I didn't forget, but knowing you guys, I wasn't upset because I know you guys are passionate about this. I know it's not out because it's not ready, and you're not going to put out a lesser quality product.
Yeah.
So I'm fine waiting for something I've supported to be when it's done, it's done. Let me ask you this: for people we have a lot of listeners who are doing Kickstarters. They're writing comic books. They're drawing.
Sure.
Now you've been through the Kickstarter procedure
A couple times.
You got any tips or hacks for someone trying to start their own Kickstarter?
There is no shame.
In promotion.
Right.
There is no shame.
Promote heavily, plan before you launch.
Yes.
There's nothing worse than being 2 weeks into it and then realizing you're nowhere near your goal.
It's not going to be done.
Right. Also, absolutely under no circumstances do you ever fund yourself. Like,
What do you mean you wouldn't back your own Kickstarter?
We have heard stories of basically, it's like you can't.
Why would you do that?
You can't fund yourself. Well, it's like you get a certain amount. It's just like, okay, I really want to do this, but if I fund this to a point by myself, through
look
through
like
a
I've got a
proxy,
lot.
it looks like I've basically fulfilled the wish, and maybe other people will kick in. Like,
right.
We've heard people say it's like, look, I'm halfway there. I have the money, but I can't do it because that's me funding myself. So I'm going to have my girlfriend
as another person take
my money and basically fund me this big chunk.
Okay.
And then sometimes that's a gamble because you're talking like some people will see that and be like, oh, somebody really wants to see this, and then maybe you can get extra money thrown at you, but then you're also you're still spending your own money, which is
there also a risk of you funded yourself and now people are like, oh, it's filled. I don't need to donate to this anymore.
Oh yeah,
it works both ways.
Yeah, kind of.
It's a double-edged sword,
right?
Because I wouldn't say he's a close personal friend, but a friend of ours, Dirk Manning, just released his Kickstarter in 13 hours. He funded. Now he only wanted. I think he only needed $6,666 because he's evil.
Sixes.
Yeah, he had 10 grand in the first 13 hours.
Wow.
And I mean, he's been working at this for years and years, but that's what it comes down to. Like, if you're going to do the Kickstarter, the best thing we'd ever tell you is set your goal appropriately.
Yeah. And realistic rewards.
Realistic rewards. And me personally, it's a huge turnoff if you admit that part of the Kickstarter is funding your life. I don't pay for your mortgage because I don't ask you to pay mine. The other thing, too, is I actually appreciate it if there are people who will do the Kickstarter at sort of the pre-production stage. So they're saying, look, I just need to, I'm getting pre-orders. I actually like it if those fail, but they come back after they've actually done the work.
Yeah.
And they said, now we're just funding the print run.
Yeah, that's
we've had some friends do it that way.
Yeah, actually, we talked to this guy John Parrish, and he had his trade paperback was done. It was digital, and he did a Kickstarter to get it printed.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. If I had known that we were gonna,
it was gonna take this long,
we would have likely done this the other way. But you live, you learn. And
you still got funded though.
Yeah, and the good
we
news
got funded,
is,
but
and coming out of this. Once Curse of the Dreadnoughts is done, we did decide on how we're going to move forward, and I think what we'll do there is probably the same thing where after the books are done, then we'll launch Kickstarters, each of them.
I was going to ask you if you were going to do it again, and I feel like the more you do it, you get better at it, obviously.
Yeah,
and we'll build a fan base.
And you build the base, and they expect to see it there.
And we'll probably do another video, and probably in that video we'll very much be humble and be like, okay, we learned our lesson. Sorry, it's done.
Yeah.
We're looking for help to print.
So
it.
when can we? What's the drop dead date? When can we expect something?
For
him
sure.
On the spot.
We are no, because we have to do this.
Well,
you guys should know this.
We do.
We know that Dragon Con and New York Comic Con are coming up in Labor Day weekend is the first.
Yeah.
Everyone will have their book by Labor Day weekend.
Okay, good.
That's I honestly don't care if I have to quit my freelance work to get it done. We will. And to be like double sure, Matt and I actually just went and got vasectomies.
Oh, that's great. No more
Nice.
babies.
No more babies.
Listen, babies are
Totally
death
snaps.
to podcasts. Babies are death to anything creative.
Anything creative, right?
It's just done. Unless it's about babies.
Right.
In which case you have great content right there.
Actually,
we could talk miles about babies.
See? You just start a dad podcast.
we have been doing this for a while, and we haven't spent any time trolling Kyle.
Oh, let's troll Kyle. We tried to get him. Kyle again is the elusive third member of Unshaven Comics. That
Kyle
we have
doesn't
yet.
exist.
He didn't want to come on.
And yet
Let's talk about Kyle.
And yet, when we did our podcast, it's like there were times it's like he was so passionate, like we had to be like, Kyle, you gotta deal that back, man.
Yeah,
you gotta go back here. And like, there's other times he's just like, hey guys.
If I would dare mention that I didn't like an issue of Saga,
Oh boy.
Kyle would, pound the table, and it's a good book.
Is that what Elliot was talking about?
Well, he was like, who reads Saga? And only like 3 people raised their hand. Who's never heard of it? Everybody raised their hand. I like Saga. It's great.
It's a good book. A lot of robot dick.
It's a lot of robot dick, a lot of cool characters.
But he will vehemently defend Saga.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's ever since Y: The Last Man. He's been a Vaughnite.
Even Under the Dome and.
But I guess for some reason, our consummate salesman.
He just want to come on and sell your book.
He actually said, like, if he can just pitch for 90 seconds, he's like, all I really want to do is just pitch.
I want to hear his pitch. He can do that. Because you have talked about how awesome he is at the Samronauts pitch.
It's a good pitch. We'll get him on mic to just do the pitch.
Just the pitch. Imran, literally, just the pitch. Don't ask any stupid follow-up questions.
Just the pitch.
Have a physical book in hand so I can
No.
Just the pitch, nothing but the pitch.
This is Kyle.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, here comes the super pitch. It's called the Samronauts. It's about a team of samurai astronauts led by an immortal kung fu monkey defending the Earth from zombie, cyborg space pirates. And you'll see it's a full-color print book, 36 pages of story for only $5. And when you buy it from a Aesthetic Convention, you'll get signed by the whole creative team who worked on it.
Wowie zowie!
There you go. There's the pitch. It's a great pitch, dude. I always remember. I was like, this is the craziest idea for a book ever, and it's just a lot of fun.
At our next show...
Thanks, Kyle.
At our next show, we're going to tally the number of people who buy a book with the...
this is great, to...
No, I'm only tallying the people that say...
Oh, I know what you're
why not? Because we have more people sign up for a book by why not?
That's great.
Awesome.
That means you got a strong pitch line.
Well, because what
there.
they're doing is they're like, $5, monkey, $5.
Fighting monkey.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Why not? You had me at monkey.
It's very
we've
rare we
actually
get-
heard that more than we can remember.
Oh yeah, there's definitely been the shut up and take my money. There has been a handful of D-bags, though. That have,
Ooh, really?
Well,
Haters? You got haters?
Are they listening? Bring it.
No.
whatever.
I don't know if you can be a hater if you've never read the thing.
That's a good
They
point.
Kyle will give that
it's-
pitch, and then we've had a guy who's literally looked at he goes, I like absolutely none of those things.
Wow.
And Kyle, stone-faced, looked him right back in the eye and goes, then I think we have nothing for you.
Move along. Nothing to see
And
here.
and sometimes it ranges with just you get parents or somebody picks it up and you'll hear the whole pitch and be like, not really. Zombies aren't really my thing. It's just like, oh, okay. Other people will be just like, man, that's just a rip-off of Power Rangers. And then we'll be like, you gonna buy it?
Yeah. It's Power Rangers. Of course I'm going to get it. So, you guys, what do you want to promote to the listeners right now? What's the takeaway? What do you want them to know?
Everybody should buy a copy of Grumpy Cat by
Elliot Serrano. He's got a free comic book version of it today, too.
Yeah, he does.
It's one story.
Again, we've got the Kickstarter. It's been funded, so stay tuned. If you are a backer, we'll still continue to put up video updates.
We will give you all the things.
We'll give you all the things.
What's the website? Where's the URL?
unshavencomicsonline.com.
There you go.
Friend us on Facebook. Please don't defriend us on Facebook.
We cry on those.
Yeah, we do.
Mark has opinions on things, too, if you follow him.
I do have opinions
Oh, yeah.
every week.
There's a nice strong one up there today.
Oh, yeah. I will
I
never...
read that on the toilet.
Which one was
and
that
I was
one?
just like, oh, baby.
I'm never... DC Comics right now is doing this whole...
Rebirth.
Yeah.
Well, not only Rebirth, but they're doing this artist and writer, they want new people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the what's it called? The
Apprentice
The
program.
talent,
or, yeah.
Talent workshop or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talent workshop. Based on my article today, I will never work for DC
Oh, snap.
because I get
Burn that bridge.
I get salty. Like
Wait, you don't think that's a good idea that they're doing this talent workshop?
Oh, I think it's a great idea.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
It's my whole article was so Jeff Johns in the back of all the DC books this month made a page long
about Rebirth, right?
Or sort of like a mission statement.
Yeah.
And basically, I spend 2,000 words or so, basically crying bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
I mean, I'm really interested to see what this rebirth is going to be. I know Eric went to like some presentation.
Are you really interested?
I am.
Why?
Because I want to see the first issues, and I would see if
Because
it's any
he
good.
is a comic book fan who has not yet been broken like me.
No, yeah.
Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
You get your heart broken, but then
Yes.
you go, you know what?
I'll give him another shot.
I'll give him another shot. And
Maybe it's good.
I've been off mainstream books for 2 years, and I feel free.
Shit, maybe
Nice.
I should learn that lesson.
But you know what? I
You
will
poop more freely. It's really nice.
It comes out a lot easier.
more
let me
flowing.
let me
Keeps
plug
you regular.
Less straining.
let me plug a
He
solution.
doesn't
though.
even have a squatty potty.
So, in place of weekly books,
Yes.
I signed up for a service called Comic Blitz.
Oh.
It's the Spotify of comics.
Oh.
Now they only have like what I would sort of like the third tier publishers. You got Arcana. You've got
Valiant.
Valiant, Dynamite,
Dynamite.
not
Boom.
Boom,
No.
not Boom yet, but
Okay.
they're adding more publishers every
IDW.
week. But I think it's $10 a month, and it's all you can read comics.
Digital?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Marvel Unlimited app, which is, I think, also $10.
Give or take, and I'd say, you know what, it's been worth its weight in gold. I got to read Quantum and Woody, which I'd never read before.
So, but does that mean that we're going to get to a day where there's no more comic book stores, there's no more single issues?
There will
printed?
always be print comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would say, for me personally, in place of getting big two books every week, that app has sort of filled a gap for me.
All right, what's it called? Comic Blitz. Comic Blitz. All right, I will check that out. That's always exciting.
Matt, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, you got anything to plug?
Just visit us on Unshaven Comics online, and we're
buy some books,
and buy some art.
And you'll see 'em at conventions?
You guys can look at our history. I mean, we got to probably update that website a little bit more now.
The site's only 5 years old.
Yeah, it's only 5 years old, but we have art up there, so it's like we do take commissions and stuff like that. So if you guys see something and you're just like, I totally finally want to have My Little Pony mashed with the Flash.
Listen, if
commission
you want,
done.
If you want any
and
Domo crossover commissions.
And Matt will be so happy to do that for you. It'll come painted. Or if you would like a female version, topless, of Mojo, the X-Men villain.
Oh, what?
Matt can draw that shit out
Female
of that.
Mojo? Who's kind of
Mojette.
a crazy, hideous character to begin with.
Yeah, I already did that. With the nice big long nipples.
Which one was it's the really ugly, this big fat guy, that's right. Or this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hot.
I did that on suggestion, and
it's the guy who runs the Mojo World.
And it was like a female version of that. And what the funniest part was, to me, what always stick in my memory is not how many people go look at that and go like, oh God, I can't unsee that. It was more the fact that I drew it and I'm like looking at it going like, this actually came out together. This came together pretty well, actually. And I have to just step back and say that. And my wife comes up right behind me. She leans over, gives me a kiss on the cheek. She looks at it and she goes, that's really cool and disturbing. Never draw it again.
But that's not your most popular.
Attracted to this.
Tell them what your most popular piece is that you need to make a print of.
Basically, somebody wanted to see Ronald McDonald mashed up with a Hellraiser Cenobite.
What? Okay.
You know Pinhead?
Yeah.
You know those really disturbing looking dudes? They're called Cenobites.
Yeah.
Matched up with a Ronald McDonald.
So basically, I did Ronald McDonald, and like up here, like his top half, it's him, and then like from below, it's like I've got his muscles stretched out. He looks all weird. He's got like a cod piece that shows fries and all this other stuff, and like the Hellraiser box is floating up there and it says, "I'll follow your soul." And I have had more people like flip through my book and go like, "Yeah, are you selling this?" And I'm like,
can you just make a set of these? Because here's Lord Voldemort in a Hello Kitty shirt saying, "Don't judge me." Because we know visual jokes, they do so well on podcasts.
And in fact,
exactly
confusing.
on an audio format, they're awesome.
How was Indiana Comic Con?
Good. Kyle, to his credit,
Blew it up.
The fearless predator of comic sales.
Like the minute he stood up, it's like he's like, all right, do my stretches, drink my tea, and then somebody comes down the aisle. And he held up a sign. Excuse me, can I tell you my comic book? Boom, 4 sold.
Wow.
Oh yeah, first he sold a 4-pack.
Holy crap!
Back to back. Right. It was. He had topped my number in 20 minutes. We ended up doing 30 in the first hour, And then we ended up doing 200 books that day, and then 300 for the whole weekend.
Dude, listen, this is the best marketing. Face-to-face marketing. You could tweet and Facebook till you're blue in the face, but when you're there and the person's there, you just they start to hear you.
It's all about.
And
it's not even face to face. It's selling.
And the funniest thing is when we get criticism that we know sometimes when it's not direct, when it's not specifically calling out us, but we know it's calling out us from people going like, I can't believe some guy's just, he's standing there and he's pitching the book and blah blah blah. And it's just like, why?
That's the point of the
How many
whole
did
thing,
you
dude.
do?
Yeah.
Right.
What was
They're
how
just
much
jealous.
how much did it cost you
Yeah.
to print this book of your hard-earned money, and how much are you making just sitting there with your head down?
Yeah, not
doing
looking
nothing?
and not talking to anybody.
At the end of the day, it just comes down to, can you deal with the rejection of someone saying no, because that's the worst they can say.
And then you play in the numbers. You just pitch everybody.
Yeah, and I say we even have the line. There's a fella who will remain nameless.
Yes.
That we agree perhaps steps beyond the line. He actually goes in front of his table.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
and gets right in front of you.
Oh, that's too aggressive for you guys.
That to me is like the table is the line. We will hold up a sign. We will ask you as you walk by if you'd like to hear the pitch, but we would never get in front of you to impose your ability to walk past us.
Right. Yeah,
I'd be the asshole that do that. I would go out there. I'm like, I'm just gonna talk to everyone that walks by here.
And you know what? If it works for you, it works for you.
And we have specific rules, and we tell neighbors on both sides. We're like, look, he doesn't stop. He's constant. You're going to hear it the whole weekend.
It's fine. They can learn a thing or two from him.
But at the same time, we also tell them we're like, look, we don't poach. Like, if they're in earshot and they hear us, that's one thing. But we're not going to stand there and like like go like, hey, you come over.
Yeah,
No, their stuff is crap.
Yeah,
come
leave
here.
it.
They go,
When you're done with that,
when they have left.
Yeah.
If they have entered Kyle's predator vision.
Yeah. Dude, and that's all you know. You just got to make eye contact. You know who you can, who's willing to stop and who's just not even interested right away.
Yes and no, because I'm probably too emphatic a person, because I will make that judgment as they walk by. Kyle doesn't. He looks for body heat.
Oh yeah, no.
If you're sentient,
he's literally a predator.
If you're breathing,
if you're within the sound of his voice, he will pull you in. And I will say, in a given show, I'll say 80% of the people that he sells, I'm sitting back there going, they don't want this book.
And then they do it.
And then it's, yeah, why not?
Oh, man.
Or it just turns out they'll just be like...
That guy's like a secret weapon, dude.
He is.
He's fearless. He's the Hal Jordan of comic books.
And it really is.
Nice.
And we joke, it's maybe Predator's not what I'm looking for. Terminator.
Yeah.
It's the total
underlying
from
thing.
his view shot. It should be like everything's red.
This is the
and
mission.
he just it's just like there's statistics running down. And he just sees
Probability of purchase 96% attack.
That's awesome.
I think he's a robot. Is he really an android?
No, he's too hairy.
Oh, okay. Well,
Way too hairy.
a good robot would be hairy,
Almost
so that you wouldn't.
too hairy.
See, it's too perfectly hairy. I'm suspicious now. Those are all little nanite hair follicles. I don't know.
If he is a robot, then God bless.
Well, guys, look, I wish you good luck for the rest of today. Listener, checking them out, unshavencomicsonline.net. And there'll be links in the show, or .com. Links will be in the show notes for the actual link. But I'm excited to get the Samurnauts Kickstarter when
It's
it's done.
coming before you die.
Right on.
There you
That's
go.
all I ask for.
And every time we see you guys, I look and Mark and I have that serious conversation every once in a blue moon. We're just like, if we just get the big Foley board and just we could do this right. We could do this right. Bring the
Don't get him started. That's all.
I know you guys had podcasts, but you guys have priorities. You know you got to get done.
I know that. Once that's done.
Hey, how about this? Once Molly and Colton can speak,
then
we're going to do the Fishman Wright Family Podcast Hour.
Yeah. I want to be here. I want fish sticks.
Chicken and flies.
Chicken flies.
Chicken and flies.
I want.
Why?
Sounds compelling.
Why?
Do you want to play lightsabers with me?
Why? Okay.
I'm subscribed already.
I'm already
Where
in
do
on
I
that one.
subscribe?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys, for coming
Thanks
on.
for hanging out.
you.
Go sell some more books.
Let's go watch YouTube. YouTube.
The whole
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there for part 1 of this special Free Comic Book Day edition of the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Listener, I love Free Comic Book Day. It was so much fun. And I just realized that Free Comic Book Day usually coincides with the release of a big comic book movie. And as you heard, Civil War, Captain America Civil War, had come out the day before we recorded this. Interesting note, the very first Free Comic Book Day was back on May 4th, 2002, one day after the release of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. So yeah, this has been going on for 15 years. And it turns out then Image Comics publisher Jim Valentino actually suggested they start after Spider-Man, and they kind of continued the tradition.
Geekerific!
I got to thank everyone who chatted with us. Joe Parrish, stencil artist, Kevin McPartland, Mr. Antihero, of course, and the guys from Unshaven Comics, Mark Allen Fishman, Matt Wright. Always a pleasure to have them on. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Check out the show notes, jockandnerd.com/102 for links to all their stuff. Let them know you heard them and you like what you heard. Part 2 features Chicago's King of Geeks author Elliot Serrano. He wrote Grumpy Cat and Ash versus Obama and some other cool stuff. And this awesome artist, Joseph Tenaglia, who goes by Tin Man. He also has a podcast. So part 2 is actually not the next episode. It's going to be the episode after that. It'll be episode 104, because in between of these theme episodes, we do live weekly shows where we catch up on the week's geek news and review comic book TV shows. You can watch us and join us on Blab live, or you can watch the show later, and it's in the feed. Just visit jockandnerd.com/live for all the links to that. So, yeah, I know it's a little confusing. Part 2 is not the next episode. Episode after, look, you're smart. You listen to this podcast. You'll figure it out. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, you want to do us a favor and just tell somebody? Yeah, there's a couple of ways you could do that. Visit jockandnerd.com/review. Takes you right to our iTunes page. Leave a nice review. That's like telling everybody on iTunes, I love this show. You should listen to it too. Or you could just go old school and tell a buddy. Give him one of these. Jock and Nerd! Turn them on to the Empire of Stupidity. Thanks for listening. This has been the Jock and Nerd Podcast, and we'll hear you next time. I just want to bring up the point that over there in the corner, Anthony, there's a whole little clique, a little subculture. It's Free Comic Book Day, but they got cards. They're flipping cards over there. What do you think's going on over there?
Shady drug dealings for sure.
I think the whole Magic Pokemon thing is just a front for the Mafia.
I heard that kid over there say Excelsior.
I think that's a code word. He said something about attack points. That's what is he putting in his bag? What is that? Look, I'm telling you, they're either trading in real magical spells or I don't know what's going on.
Or you think they're like Harry Potter kids in training? Like,
oh, they're trying to get the Muggles.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about Harry Potter, but don't you get like groomed from a young age to be this magician?
Well, yeah, you can't just jump into the magic.
Right.
I bet you got to get groomed to play cards.
I would assume so. I don't know. It's weird too.
Right? I want to yell at them and call one of them over.
And they're all mostly minorities.
That's also very interesting. There's a definite, subculture group that's common.
They should all leave this country.
They're so smart. They're too smart. If only they could use their powers for good instead of stupid magic together.
Then we wouldn't be behind China.
We're talking shit about these people, and they're sitting right over there. That's the best part. I don't know what's going on.
We wouldn't be behind China technologically.